Hello guys, this is Avcoor. Someone asked me to rank light and dark heroes. I have to do it separately because that'll be just too long of a video. I will actually put out a tier list, but the tier list must be separate from the core elemental heroes. So there's going to be an elemental hero tier list, and then there's going to be a light and dark tier list. Because light and dark heroes combat output is just vastly superior for basic reasons. One of the reasons is their stat bonuses are just higher. If you mix them with core elemental heroes, the actual stat bonuses are higher. And if you pair them together by themselves, their actual bonuses are higher than the core three elements. So team building is even more important with light and dark heroes. Just consider that when I talk about this, that light and dark heroes are vastly superior to the core three. Kind of not fair, but it is what it is. As you can see, there's like not many light heroes because that's what we'll be going over. But I think there's like three outstanding heroes out of light. Three outstanding heroes. Just simply outstanding. Just three heroes that break the mold and challenge the system. And sadly, the others just don't compete with their utility. So let's go with the food heroes. Let's start off with the food heroes. The food heroes are actually solid units. Emperor Light Lauren is actually a solid unit. As a food hero, he's actually on par with the non-food core elemental heroes. He has like solid stats. His speed is low. His HP is mediocre. His defense is good, and his attack is good. It's not great, but hey, it's good enough. Radiant Blade is actually a solid skill because it does attacks to all enemies, and you get damage reduction. Pretty good. He's supposed to be a warrior, but his damage reduction isn't that great. It's all right, but it's not that great. There's 7% chance to apply a seal to two allied targets. Oh, excuse me. The lowest HP. The round one cooldown is really good. That means he can keep it up every other turn, which is really awesome. So that's awesome. And he's got the tank build, though lower stats because he's a food hero. Devotee of Truth Investia is a solid healer. In fact, her healing skills are equal to some of the mid-tier healers in the other elements. So she's not bad by any means. She's just mediocre compared to Pucha and the top two hero we'll discuss later on. Um, Divine Light is actually a solid healing spell because it applies shield and it heals all your allies. So this is a good defensive setup spell. I probably will use her later on in order to clear higher challenges in the Light Temple. Since I can't build expensive light heroes, I'll probably only be able to build three. So she'll probably have to come in. Healing Aptitude, Investia is good at healing allies between battles, recovers HP equal to 50%. Devotee's troops Devotee's troops attack to the hero's low HP. Solid healing spell, not great, not bad. She's really slow. That's one of her weaknesses. She's really slow. But sometimes it's better to be slow when you're a healer, so everybody takes their action. And when you're done, she kind of cleans up. Her HP is mediocre. Her defense is okay. Like I said, she's solid. Not spectacular. She's not spectacular. Pucha is actually an above average healer, even though she's a B grade healer in light. She's above average. She's right behind uh, Lord of Time actually, and and two other healers. That's how good she is. Her HP is good. Her speed is low, and that's good. Her attack is pretty solid. Her defense is solid. Her stats are pretty solid. If you're looking for a healer and you don't want to spend a lot of money on the game, I think Polka is one of those healers that you can invest in. She's a good long-term investment for people who don't spend money on the game. I'll explain why. Radiant Prayer is a really good healing spell. It resurrects, which is good. She's one of the few people that can resurrect out of the normal pool of summoning. There's not too many healers that can resurrect out of the normal pool of summoning. I think she's the only one actually, because Lord of Time is not an average healer. She's hard to get. Uh, Dark Strider, I think, is hard to get since he's a dark healer, and so is a character we'll talk about later. So there's not that many people who could resurrect, and for her to be able to resurrect, and you get free copies of her, she's a good investment. Um, yeah, Small Blessing is really good. It allows her to constantly like top off people. It's not as potent, and you'll actually have to put in resources and rune stones in order to get her healing up. But she, like I said, you get a lot out of her for what you put into her, and she gets the HP 34, 65, whatever. Uh, this is actually super good because she clears statuses and provides damage reduction. She basically does what her lesser counterpart does to a higher level, making Polka actually better than the next character coming up. Luminescent Knight Nora is actually a solid DPS unit, but she does not stand out as much as Polka because Polka amongst her peers is actually really good because she's very unique in what she does. Nora on some level is a little unique, but there's a couple things holding her back. This is one of her better skills because it's the computer AI manipulation as it attacks the enemy with the lowest HP. You want assassins to do that, and she's able to do that. This is actually one of her saving graces that totally make her like such a baseline unit that she's not too bad. Her speed is incredible at 110. Her HP is solid. Her defense is alright. Her attack is really good. Like I said, she is a light hero. So this is where she kind of sucks. Leading the Luminescent, when Nora dies, she continues to kindle her life force for allies, granting tenacity to all heroes. Also, there's a 100% chance to apply Divine Power effect on 2 heroes with the highest attack. This effect can only be triggered once per battle. Why this sucks is because death skills suck. I mean, you have to die in order for it to work, and you don't die that often, and when you die, you're close to losing. So this skill overall, just based on the mechanic that she has to die to activate it, sucks. That means she can't consistently use it all the time like other skills. So this is one of the things that hold her back. This is okay because she's a B tier hero, so that's fine. Gains immune effect when uses rage skill, adds stun to the target. This is actually really good. Kind of saves her from being like a lower tier hero. But amongst other characters, she's actually solid. The ability to stun a target actually works well with the other characters higher on the list. So, like if I was to build a team with light and I needed a cheap unit, she would be one of them. So now we're at to the top guys. We'll deal with the first set of 3, then we'll talk about the last set of 3 as they are the pinnacle of the light meta. They really are. I know you know who they are, but hey, let's start with him. Garda is actually good. He does what you would expect a tank to do. His stats are above average. His defense is extremely good in HP as well. He has medium speed, so that's really good. Yeah, I like that. His animation's really good. Divine Barrier actually gives him a chance to taunt the enemy. Taunt is actually good, but the fact that it doesn't do more than that kind of holds him back. And it gets counterattack, which is good, but you can get runes that can give you counterattack. So it's not that great. Divine Barrier is not that great because it's an 80% chance and then it's a 45% chance, which is not that great. Counterattack is not that great. There's better tanks like Shield of Partha automatically gets CC, automatically gets freeze. I think, sadly, that Shield of Partha is better than this guy. People will argue with me, but I doubt the argument will stand up. Divine Barrier is kind of a mediocre skill, but he has better stuff going for him that allows him to stay in. Now, this is where he starts getting good. He has a 100% chance to apply Tenacity, which gives a damage buff to all of his teammates, which stacks with other people who can give Tenacity. So this is actually really good. He's actually a buffer. He gets the 80 HP, 40% attack, solid. This is actually where he actually gets even better. He gains 10% damage reduction, and his rage skill adds shield. This is something that he needs as a tank. You want him to stand up front by himself because he can hold his own. It's just that his rage skill kind of sucks. It's better than Aurora's, but Aurora's a low tier hero, so it's hard to make that comparison. So it is what it is. He's good, but I just feel that there's better out there, and in light there is. Swordmaster Swordmaster Sylvie is actually better than Garde, but there are things that stop her from being like of the top three. She's good though. She's better than Garde. So let's go over why she's better than Garde. Her rage skill is better than Garde's rage skill. So she inflicts 131 damage to all enemies, which is super good. And she adds reduced damage on targets. As target's HP is lower than 30, inflicts additional damage. This makes her a mass killer. When you set her up with some good AoEs, she's a real cleanup master. I've seen people actually have her for some reason. They spend money or whatever. But it's worth it because she's able to, with the right team set up, she's able to really clean up. I think this is like way better than Garde's skill because it's actually dealing damage. And the reduced damage is guaranteed. Justice is never alone. Sylvie's heroism inspires her allies. After round applies the counterattack effect on the ally with the highest attack. And there's a 50% chance to apply the damage increase effect on herself. This is really good. It's not as great of a support as Garde's skill because it only affects like one unit. And she only has a 50% chance to apply damage increase effect on herself, which is kind of meh. Excuse me. Some people like Don, like the Dragon Master. He gets all his 100%. So it kind of screwed up that a character as powerful and light as her doesn't get that 100% effect. Yeah, this is kind of weak. This is good, but everybody gets that, so whatever. This is actually good skill. Not the best, but hey. Increased damage by 10% is really good. When she takes fatal damage, she gains undying effect. This is kind of clutch. I think her second skill actually holds her back, but this pushes her up to the top. It's just the fact that she could be better if they gave her a better second slot skill, but that's okay. She's still really good, though. She's still really good. Just is light. It's just hard to compete. I think Omega. It's like out of the three, he's the best. Um, let's start out why that is. Uh, Quantum Shield, Energy Shield will completely block, include damage and effect one raid skill from the enemy before shattering. Before it shatters, Energy Shield will grant 20% damage reduction. This is super good because there are some raid skills that if you just like are able to neutralize them, like some of the three characters that we'll talk about later. This is actually really good. It makes him the best out of the three because they put a lot of thought into his character design. Okay, so this is where he gets his survivability. After the round end, Omega restores 10% of max HP. This effect is immune to CC, so they can't CC him out of this. This is really good. A nice self heal. This allows other healers like Pucha to not like overexert themselves, and you can easily top him off. When you combine him with Celestial Spear and a healer, he stays in the game for a long time. So he gets the 80% HP for the attack because he's a tank. Phase energy conversion. It's gonna be well, whatever. He gets his 10% damage reduction. There's a 50% chance to gain preemptive strike. After Alicia's rage skill, Omega uses Quantum Shield to absorb the energy to enhance his energy cannon. Basic attack, except Caster can also attack the rope with the most enemies. This is really good. Uh, Preemptive strike is kind of the weak point of it because it's 50%. It's not guaranteed, which kind of sucks. If it was guaranteed, I think he'd be like way up there, but he's not. But he's still really good. And if anyone gets him, he's a good investment. He's really strong. Out of the three, I think he's the best. So now we go on to like the number 3 units. All of them are equal in their right. I think overall, one stands a little above the rest. And we already know who she is. But let's start with Valkyrie. Valkyrie is one of the reasons why that Light is so OP. Of course, being one of the crown bearers, she'd be like super strong. Her speed is low, one of the weakest aspects of her stats. But all her other stats are good. HP is good for a warrior. I don't know why she's a warrior. Whatever. Um, Her attack is good. Her defense is good. Solid stats overall. I don't know why she's a warrior though. Face Judgment is one of the best raid skills in the game. This is why people don't put 3 people in a row in PvP because of this skill. Because if she stuns 3 units, it's kind of over. So she gets like stunned and she gets to hit 2 to 3 units or 1 if you position properly. If the enemy positions properly, 1. But she usually attacks like the row with 2 the most people. Face Judgment is a real raid swing. Raid swings are when raid skills can swing the battle, and she raid swings really well. Stunning 2 targets takes the DPS off, allows you to close in, get skills, amazing skill. Unwavering War Flag. This is really good. After each round, there's a 100% chance to apply divine power effect on all people. It kind of sucks that she kind of totally outclasses Guardian in this fact that she's a great DPS and a great buffer, just as good as him. But it is what it is. She's top tier. There's nothing to say about it. Really great skill. She gets the 40 HP, 80% attack. That's why I don't understand why she's a warrior. She's not a tank. Alright. She gets damage increased by 10. When using rage skill, there's any negative effect on the target, inflict damage. This is really good. This isn't as good as in the beginning of the battle, but the second and third round and fourth round, this is killer. This is really killer. This allows her to really just eat away an opponent's team. It's just amazing. She's just an amazing character. That's why she's so hard to get, but she's worth it. If you really want to play this game at the highest level, you actually need to play her and characters like her. Simply put, amazing character. Nothing really bad to say about her. Elementalist is like one of the She's another busted character. If you see the Zocook video with the combo of her and Valkyrie is just unreal. This character is unreal. She's slow at 103, which is okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Her AoE nuke is so raw. Her HP and defense are solid. Her attack is amazing. Let's get into it. Elemental Rage is one of the best rage skills in the game. It kind of it. That's why Omega is so good because when he blocks this attack, he probably saved your team. First of all, there's a 21% chance of stun. That seems bad at first, but she hits everybody. So at least one or two units are going to get stunned. At least one or two. So that is amazing when she gets that stun off. She really hurts the team. And the damage she puts out is really good. Amazing rage skill. Another amazing skill. Elemental Blast is kind of gay. Uh, all elemental attacks other than counterattacks, they inflict damage to 1%, 102% of self-attack to all enemies. So gay. That's why you pump her attack up. That's why you put Savage on her. It's just so gay. She is just so raw. For her to be, it seems bad that she hits for low attack, but when you're like comboing with AoE, she's constantly literally attacking with AoE. Unrestricted damage. Of course, she gets to 40 HP, 80% attack. Then this is, man, amplifies damage by 10%. Really good. When uses rage skill, applies weaken and armor shredder effects. So when she hits with her big AoE nuke, not only is she has the potential to stun, but she applies weaken, which reduces damage, and armor shredder, which increases your received damage. Another character who has big rage swings where she uses her rage skill and she just swings it over to your side. One of the best DPSs in the game. Over time, she falls off because they like power creep her, but they never power creep her into oblivion. She always stays in 0 and top 0.5. So she's a good investment for long term. That's why I'm building her. Amazing character. And let's go to the final character, the strongest character in Light. Uh, Super Twins is one of the best characters in the game, period, hands down. Because she does both, her rage skill does damage, and her basic effect does healing. And she has a revive that is connected to her dying. Her speed is slow at 102, very slow. Her HP is solid. Her defense is okay. Her attack is good. But it's her skills that set her apart. Okay, Sword of Doom. Bella calls upon Sword of Doom on her enemies, dealing damage equal to 102% of Bella's attack to all enemies. If the enemy has any buffs, a random buff will be converted into Seal of Doom. After using the skill, if Lucky Smile is learned, switch to Ella. We'll talk about switching to Ella later. After being attacked 3 times, Seal of Doom will rather apply Weaken, Poison, and Armor Shredder debuff. Pretty amazing the fact that she gets stats effects on top of everything else that she does. The fact that she's a healer that does DPS is amazing. She's an amazing character. It only gets better from here. Lucky Smile. Ella uses the power of luck to purify the whole team of one negative effect. Recovers Ella and Bella's HP equal to 360% of their attack, which is really good. While at the same time adds Lucky Seal to herself. When Ella's healing overflows, the excess amount is converted to HP shield. Upon unleash skill converts to Bella's form. Mark of Love increases healing by 20%. This is really good. That's why she pairs well with other healers. Doesn't matter who pairs well. And HP shield is another reason why she pairs well with other healers because she overlaps her healing and she's able to produce a shield that allows them to absorb damage. So she's basically doing what Omega does, except in a different way. She just takes more damage than Omega does, which is amazing for her. And she heals everyone. So, yeah. And when they switch, that means they switch to one is always healing, which is what's her name? Ella. Ella's the healer. Bella's the killer. I guess. That's how you say it. Whatever. Yeah. So half the time she's attacking, half the time she's killing, but that's fine. So they get the 40 and 80% attack. Okay. So when Bella receives lethal damage for the first time, Ella will sacrifice herself, reviving all dead allies and restoring 40% of Bella's attack as HP. At the same time, Bella will enter a create state, increases damage done. And she'll always do her AoE attack, and that's fine because you're at the end of the fight, and this is a clutch revive. And once that happens, your other healers should be taking the wheel, and you're looking to kill an enemy. One of the best designed characters in the game, one of the strongest characters in the game. I kind of screwed up by not getting her. I didn't know. I just started playing this game. I didn't know how strong she was, and I kind of cucked myself. So there you have it. I feel bad about not getting her. It's one of my biggest regrets when playing this game, not getting this character since she's so strong. She's still meta. She is still meta to this day in the game. She's still top T0 character. And it's just amazing that she still is there. So, whatever. I made my mistakes. Anyways, if you like my content, hit the like, share, subscribe button. I'll get back to you. Laters.